All right. So, good evening, class. Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you all to today's class, BCIT 209, e-business. There's a hand up, Mr. Anand.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Evans.
Yes, sir.
Please, good evening.
Evening, sir.
Service, I think there is a little noise at your background.
Oh, okay. Okay. So let me deal with that and then get back with you. All right. Thank you for noticing. Is it okay now? Is it clearer?
Yes, sir, it's clearer.
Awesome. So we are going to have a very fruitful session. So let's all pay attention to the session and we'll all do well. Welcome to today's class, CIT 209 e-business architecture, right? When we talk about e-business, when we say e-business, what comes to mind? Can anybody share their idea on what they believe it entails? You want to share your ideas or your knowledge? Madam Vida, your hand is up.
Yeah, so when it comes to e-business, we are talking about electronic business, like selling online and stuff. Yeah, that's what I have in mind for now.
Wow, beautiful. So that's powerful.
Or doing business online.
Doing business online. Great, great, awesome. Anybody else? Anybody? Anybody? So in my sessions, I try to open the floor for as many on the platform to be able to also partake practically in the sessions. So you can create memory points in your mind when it's time to produce, especially during the exam period, right? And you want to be able to recollect by way of getting involved. Okay, you remember only a small percentage of what you listen or what you hear. So you want to all be part of the session so that we'll have a lively one. Okay. All right. So when we talk about e-business, just like our sister rightly said, electronic business. So that has to do with business that has to that is online basically. So e-business is simply doing business using the internet and digital technology. So when you are involved, anytime you are involved in business using the internet or any digital technology, you are involved in e-business. So e-business in full basically means electronic business. So in Ghana, anytime a business uses internet, the phone, computers, apps, okay, we are talking about the same thing, right? E-business. So basically the purpose of this course would be to highlight the key features of this field, right? So if you're an IT student, since this course is for IT students and also opened up for anybody else who would want to study this via the YouTube channels, you're all welcome to. This course is intended to groom IT students to have an entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, so it is good to focus on whichever field of your specialization you want to go into. whether programming, whether programming is my is my screen still being projected? All right. Can you hear me all? Can you all hear me? Hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you, sir.
So, okay, so when we talk about it's basically we want to be able to the preliminary stages or the first lesson of the whole course. We want to and be able to explain some few things, right? And to be able to understand the differences or the types of e-commerce that there is or that exists. All right. So basically, this course would expose us to all those things. So moving on, one of the key outlines would be the definition, which we just spoke about, and then the very types of e-commerce, the evolution, how it came about, where we started from, and where we are going, okay, with e-commerce. How would the future look like with e-commerce when you are doing business online? How was it in the beginning, and how is it going to be like ahead of us in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, and how is it right now? So we are going to look at all that in the evolution, and then we'll look at e-commerce and economic factors, how they correspond with each other, and then opportunities that they bring, and then precautionary measures we need to take, and the concerns on the various and complaints of people who have engaged or benefited or be disadvantaged in this field. All right. So moving along, beginning with the definition. All right. Electronic business is any kind of business or commercial transaction that includes sharing information across the internet. All right. So the e-business, electronic business, or the electronic business is the conduct of online business processes on the web, internet, extranet, or a combination of both. I'm going to explain that very soon. Commerce constitutes the exchange of products and services uh, between uh, businesses, groups, and individuals, and can be seen as one of the essential activities of any business. So, what are we talking about here? Basically, what the long and short of everything is that, I'm going to make the examples based on the African terrain, and I'm going to zoom in on the Ghanaian model, right, of business or e-commerce, right, and we are going to elaborate. So some of the examples. So to run an e-business firm, it basically includes buying and selling of goods, but this time around, we are dealing with products and services. So we have to put in our minds that anytime that there is a business, it is not always a physical thing that we can hold, okay, in buying or selling. There are some people who don't sell actual products, but they offer services. So we normally classify these items as such. So those ones that are not things that you can hold, but people are selling, you can deem them services. So some companies are into the service rendering aspect of businesses. Okay, so we render services. Okay, we don't produce services, but we render services, and then we produce goods. All right. So any business that has to do with these sales or the marketing or distribution of this thing through these media or these platforms, by the internet or the extranet and so on, we term it as e-business. Now, e-business is a big and a wide concept, right? So it includes buying and selling. That's number one. Talking to customers. All right. So it's not just the buying and selling. It also includes what? Talking to customers. Right. It also includes paying salaries, because when you are operating a business, you have a lot of people that, or some few people that you are working with. Even if it is yourself, you have to pay yourself. So it includes paying salaries. It includes buying and selling, which is number one. It also includes talking to your customers, and not just talking to your customers, but having a relationship with them as well. All right. So building customer relations, all right, is one of the key aspects of e-business. So we are going to look at all these things, and then also managing your workers. So apart from building a good relationship with your customers, you want to also be able to manage your workers. So know what is happening, know what hinders their output. You know, the main reason for every worker is to produce an expected output for you to yield the profits or the revenue that you are expecting as a business owner, right? And so you want to be able to manage well the people who are you have employed. And so managing them is one of the things we are going to look at in e-business. And then also what? Ordering supply. So there's a need, if you are not the one producing the goods that you have, there's a need for you to relate with where you are getting your product. So wherever you are getting your product, that is where your supply comes from. Okay, so if you are not the one producing it, hello, is someone saying something?
Yes, please. Please, someone is at the lobby.
Oh, I thought there were some people helping me out on this. Okay, let me admit everyone. Once, all right. So I think I've admitted everyone. Let them check in the lobby for me. All right. Okay. So managing your workers and also managing your suppliers as well. So you need to be able to have a good relationship with your suppliers if you are not the one producing your goods. And apart from that, you also need to look at what? Advertisement. Okay, so you look at advertisements. So the way and manner your product and the uses of your product is made known to the general public. This is what is basically called advertisement. So we are going to look at that also as a topic or as a subject into details within this course. All right. So when we say e-business, it entails all this. So I've mentioned buying and selling. I've mentioned talking to customers or relating well with customers or customer relations, building a good relationship with your customers, paying salaries, managing workers, ordering your supplies or managing your suppliers. So the same way you manage your workers, you must be able to manage your suppliers. Some people manage their suppliers very well. Some employers manage their suppliers very well. Those who give them the items to sell, and then they don't manage their workers well. So we'll look at all those things, and then how you see as IT students. So I'm going to limit the examples to IT field. Okay, so after you build your product, what is your product as an IT person? So maybe you developed a program that solves problems in your society. Maybe, for example, you have built a software for schools that would be able to record school fees and all that, right, at simple entry, and then it's able to produce receipt for each student or each parent as and when they do their payments. It's able to generate receipts automatically, and then goes on to even print out vouchers for them. It's able to do prepare reports and all that. You have solved a problem. You see, normally schools will have to employ let's say over 10 people. So as you are coming on board to build this software for schools, you are solving that issue, right? And it is a business for you. So there's a need to look at these things, and this is how important this course is to your journey as an IT student, right? Because I do get a lot of messages on why people or IT people think that this is necessary. All right. So you can look at it in this sense, and then this course will be of help to you. And then also after sales service. So as an IT entrepreneur, after managing your customers, managing your suppliers, engaging in buying and selling, talking to your customers, which is managing your customers, paying salaries, doing advertisements, you must also follow up. You should be able to follow up. It's called customer support, right? So, or be able to attend to your customers even after you've dealt with them. And then you see how the product is serving them, the purpose for which they bought, how is it, for you to get a review on what you have advertised for them to buy. All right. So this is normally the last stage or the last stage of the whole thing. And these are mostly the major topics we are going to deal in this course. All right. So I think I've summarized everything within that context. We are going to take all of them, the buying and selling parts one by one, and then the rest of them as well. So e-commerce is a part of e-business. So e-commerce is specifically about buying and selling online. All right. E-commerce is specifically about buying and selling online. Like, so if money is exchanged online, if money as soon as you engage in buying and selling what e-commerce. Now, examples, right? I'm going to give some examples. So when you buy a phone on Jumia, right? You buying basically commerce is basically the buying and selling of goods or services. Paying your ECG bills online. You have engaged in it both. So as soon as you on right buying and selling. So whether am I online now? It's like the network is unstable. So as soon as you engage yourself in the buying and selling of these goods, you are engaging in the e-commerce aspect of the e-business, right? Okay. So so I mentioned ordering items on the on Jumia as an example of an e-commerce exchange, right? Paying, ECG bills online. You may have the app on your phone, and then you just do your payment, and then it goes through. You have engaged in e-commerce. That's one aspect of e-business. So e-business is the mother of it all. And then e-commerce is just the aspect of it where you have to do buying and selling only. Please, are we following? Are we following?
Yeah, we are.
Yes, please.
Yeah, yes, we are listening.
Awesome. Awesome.
Listen.
So paying your school fees online. Some of you were able to pay your fees via the Momo line, right? MTN mobile money, right, on the phone. And so it also is engaging. So except that the school is not giving you a product, but this time it's a what? It's a service that the school is rendering you. Remember, we use rendering for services. So you render services and you produce goods, right? So the school is not producing goods for us. They are rendering a service for us. So they are teaching us how they are teaching us the various courses we have registered each semester. And so their delivery is what requires us to pay, right? The various for those various or those particular services. So it's also under the e-commerce section under e-business. Remember, the e-business is the mother of it all, and then e-commerce is just the aspect, one small part of the e-business, which includes the buying and selling. So you see, I gave you the e-business lines. I mentioned buying and selling, customer relations, and so on and so forth. They are all under the e-business. But the part that has to do with the buying and selling is where the e-commerce is activated, right? I want to establish that. That's why I keep repeating it. Okay, so I'm going to build on that as we go on. Okay, so even booking your ticket online. When you book your ticket online, you have engaged also in this particular part of the e-business, right? All right. So you can be asked the question in the exam if e-business is a part of e-commerce. So right over here, you know that e-business is not a part of e-commerce, but e-commerce is inside e-business, right? So e-commerce is just a small part of the e-business. So the e-business is the mother of it all. All right, great. So let's look at the differences now between the e-business and then e-commerce. Very, very important. So now, based on these explanations that I've given, let me move to the next slide. So I've talked about these the businesses that they include. Definition of electronic businesses: buying and selling services, customer processing payments, and so on and so forth. Right. So I want to go deeper into some of these things. Okay. So some of these businesses in the e-business, right? In the e-business includes those ones I've mentioned. You can see all of them here, right? You can take a screenshot if you want to. The slides shared to those who are with us, right? And they will have copies of them. A combined slide will be made as well. All right, awesome. So on this slide, we have the share of total economic infrastructure used to support e-business processes and conduct e-commerce transactions, right? So basically, what is behind the e-commerce transactions? So where is it coming from? So you have someone sitting by the computer, right? And all these things are coming from a server, right? That holds the various links to the various websites, and these servers are also connected to database. Sometimes they are all combined, right? these days. They are mostly combined. All right. So you would have the various servers all over the world. So the website you see, so for instance, let me take a website like Jumia, right? So if you have Jumia like this, they have their office. In their office, we have people who are at the back end controlling things, right? We have people who are in charge of posting the products on the website. Okay, so they have a database where all the product, the serial numbers, everything is on, right? And during this processes, right? This thing is distracting me. I wish someone could help me to do the admission. All right. So yeah. So there's a storage section, right, for the business where all these items with its details, specifications are stored in, right? So let's say you are dealing in the buying and selling of products, which products. So let's use phones. So let's say you have the model, you have the product name, you have the size, you have the features of the phone, everything, and then all will be embedded in a serial number or a serial code, right? For which you can trace to know all these functions under the phone. And these are all stored in the database of the e-business or the company, which has that e-commerce session under them. So I'm trying to break things down so that we all understand. So the share of total economic infrastructure used to support e-business processes and conducting e-commerce transactions include hardware part of things. It includes software. It includes telecommunications. It includes support services. It includes human resource. So you doing all these things, engage. You see, I was talking to you on saving the product details, right? That very thing you will go and see on the website. It is stored somewhere by certain people, right? You have people who will be at the back end. You have people, the designers, the designers of the pictures, right, for the product. You have people who are also web designers as well. We have people working on the back end. We have people following up on the product after it's sold. Like they'll reach out to the customer as to how well the product served them. So all this infrastructure entails the e-business architecture or framework or foundation. So you must have all these things in mind if you want to engage in e-business. So the hardware part of things, you need a software to reach out to the customers, because if there is no hardware, and so how can you engage in this? Because you need a computer for things to be done, because the online business requires you to be online or to be on the internet or to be using the computer. Therefore, you need these hardware tools and equipment, right? You also need the internet. So the telecommunication companies, this is where they come in, right? This is where they begin to benefit, right? So they will also come in with giving you access to the internet. So it is one way building your website, having all those details of your product. And it is another way you can't provide yourself the internet. You need to partner with these companies, either by purchasing their products or their services as well, or you can create your own how do you call it, private network, and be engaged in whichever ways you need telecommunication networking facilities, right? And then also you need to have support services, as I mentioned, where you have a customer care team that would also follow up on how well you have used or how well the product has served you, right? And then you have people who will look after all these people who are taking care of the hardware, software, whether telecommunication department of the company or support services of the company. You have people to also look at all these workers, right? To also think about the workers so that they'll be able to produce more and rotate the whole cycle over and over again for the company or the e-business to work. So without this infrastructure, you will not be classified under the e-business framework. All right. So these are the things that you need to be classified under the e-business field. So customers determine everything. It's very, very important to note this. Your customers are a key part of your business. This is why there is a term in every business that the customer is always right. As for this matter, if we start talking about it, we'll end tomorrow. So, but you have to put in your mind, because it's because of your customers that you are existing. You will exist or do well in your e-business or in your company when you treat your customers, you put them first. People do this the other way around. You put your customers first and you disregard your workers. You will end up employing over and over again different workers all the time, rotating. You will not have a certain level of consistency in your output or your general. The human resource part over here, as I was saying, was very integral. It's very it's integral to this whole process. Right. So, okay, I believe I'm still online. So it's very important to note these things. Now, in the everything. Am I back? Is the network back? Is the network back? Can you? All right.
Ivan, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes. I
Please,
think I'm
can
back
you hear
now.
me?
All right.
Your network,
Yes,
if
sir.
you can come.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard? So that I'll take it out from there again.
I think you are on this the third point.
The third point, people want more choice. No, I've not gotten there, sir. Was it the knowledge or the customers determine everything? I want to know so that I
Yeah.
take it from there.
Yeah. That's the third one.
Third one. Okay. I've not even gotten there. All right. So I was talking about the customers determine being the integral part, that with the first one, which is customers determine everything, right? Customers determine everything. So under the new rules for e-business, your customer is your most important asset you have in the company. All right. So you have to pay close attention to their demands and be able to adjust your products and your services to suit what they want. So most of the times, it's not about what you want. You look at the demand of the people and then you flow. You look at the demand of the nation, the continent, and the world, and then you factor in the adjustments to your various products and services that you are rendering as an e-business firm. All right. Um, and then you have to also know some of these rules. The second rule is that you need to know that knowledge and information is more valuable than physical assets. You having knowledge on your industry is very, very key to your success an entrepreneur in the e-business field. Okay, you need to be knowledgeable. Try and get as much. No, you see, knowledge is not limited um, by just the product that you are offering. You are offering your or the service you are rendering your customers. Knowledge also in your competitors. For you to do well, most companies who are it's not that even uh, they focus only on their product. But one of the key things of successful or very successful companies is that they focus also on their competitors. So you want to look at the companies that are also doing the same thing that you are doing and see how you can adjust things to suit the system to be unique in that field, because everybody is doing that same business. What are you doing differently? So you have created your software, you have produced your item, you have brought up a technology that many people are also having. What will make you different in the system? So you need to look at this and gain more knowledge on it, and also your competitors. So knowledge truly is power. So I heard the lecturer or the doctor saying that money, and when we give you money and we give you knowledge, what will you go for? And people were saying they will go for money because with the money they will go for more knowledge. You see, the question was no knowledge. You say no to knowledge, but you say yes. When you say yes to money, you say no to knowledge. It doesn't mean that when you get the money, you go and then get the knowledge. It was a yes and a no thing. Okay, so I will always advise for you to gain knowledge. So those of you who are Christians, you realize that when even Solomon asked God for knowledge, he was giving money or he was giving wealth. I will not even say money, he was giving wealth. Okay, so getting knowledge on how things work is way better than getting the asset that will be given to you. Do you get me? And so I heard a student say that there are so many people who are giving so many assets and they didn't know what to do, and they in the end they wasted them. We have seen it, evidence in our world today. Okay, and so you realize that knowledge is always power. And I remember in a page posting something. There was a movie, and the movie is Game of Thrones. Some of you can go and check. You see, there are some people who survived from the beginning of that series to the very end as a result of the knowledge they had on so many things in the kingdom, right? So the ability to know where things come from would create you for you a perpetual or a continuous supply of that very thing. So if you give me fish right now, I will eat it and it will finish. But if you teach me how to fish, I will gain knowledge on how to catch fish, and then it will perpetuate, right? It will be in a loop, or I will continue in consistency to produce myself until they become many, right? Even than the initial principal or the initial deposit for it. Are we following? And so this is why knowledge is always power. Okay, knowledge is power. All right. So with the knowledge on something, you can perpetuate the supply or the continuous supply of that particular thing. All right. So let's take notice of this. It's a business rule not only in e-business, but also a general business at large. Okay, general business activities. Okay, so the next one is what people want more choices of products and services. People want more choices of products and services. Okay, so um, I beg your pardon. Do you have a question, sir? Someone just unmuted. All right. So people want more choices of products and services. So all the time, people are looking for better ways to solve their issue. So your ability to identify a problem in the society all the time will grant you uh, the steps, right, in how to solve them through your consistency on that particular thing. And so you look at set companies like Samsung, right, and look at the products that they produce all the time, but yet they still have more products in the system. So when it comes to their phone section, they have they don't have they will not say, oh, because we are so we want to specialize in one part, we just create one particular phone for our people. They have multiples. They have the A series, they have the, what have you, the various models that they have on the various series, right? If you look at the car companies too, same, right? So even going back to Samsung, apart from their phones and the various models they have for the phones, that means that they have choices of prices. So whatever budget you have a certain quality or level of phone based on your budget. So they are providing more choices. So apart from phones, if you are looking at buying TV, they are also in the TV market because they are solving problems. So uh, the idea of you having a need for different types of products, they have also dominated that sector with more choices for you to choose from. All right. So always people need a lot of product. It is up to you, the entrepreneur or the owner of the e-business firm, right, to know where to go into. All right. But I would advise that when you go into it, it's not advisable to start going all out and start producing a lot, unless maybe you have a budget, you have a plan, that's fine. But you specialize first. Samsung didn't begin all at once. They began from somewhere, and now they have a lot of choices for us to choose from when it comes to the the products, right? The range of products that they have. They also Samsung also has they have a fridges. They have a lot of electronic gadgets, right, as well, that we may not even be aware of. They also have cameras, right? Yeah. So as time moves on, you can diversify in your products and even services, all right? So that you satisfy the needs and wants of your consumers, your customers, right? So it's a general rule you need to look at as an entrepreneur, right? In the e-business framework. The next rule is what? Time is present. Time is present time. Zero is distance. Time is present time. Distance is zero. Who can explain this for us? I want to engage. I've been talking for a very long time. Who can explain this for us? Quickly, quickly, quickly. Look at the statement very well, especially those who were not in the session yesterday or so, or 2 days ago, right? 2 days ago, yeah. Who can do us the honors? Anybody, anybody, anybody? Should I mention names, or you run away if I mention your name? Hello, can you hear me? Oh, I'm talking to myself. Nobody's wrong. Whatever you whatever answer you all answers are correct. All right, all answers are correct. So anybody want to step in the class? Oh. Am I online? Yeah, there's a hand up. There's a hand up. Anybody? Sakote, are you there? Please unmute and do as the honor. Hello.
Yes, also, yeah, yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
I can hear
Evans,
you now.
please, can you hear? Yes, so, like, in my own point of view, I think it means that online buyers can buy the products online at any given time, at any given place, like anywhere. Like, distance doesn't limit them, and also to time, they can buy it anytime.
Wow, wow. My network was unstable. It has been unstable over here for a long time running. I apologize for that. I think the network people have issued this thing that they are working on it in the area for us. All right. Until then, I'll move on to thank you, Mr. Corte, for that powerful contribution. I believe that you were talking about the online sales and its connection to people having the product, right? Right, sir, Mr. Corte. Awesome, awesome. So I'll move on to Mr. Boaje Prince. Mr. Boaje Prince.
Yes, hello, good evening. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are live.
Hello, hello, can you hear
Yes,
me?
sir, I'm listening, sir.
Yes, so I think the question is time, distance is time is present time. Um, from my own understanding, I can say time is the most valuable asset here, and distance is you can say distance is not a barrier, or distance really doesn't matter. The most important thing is time. So we focus more on time, and then forget about the distance. Thank you.
Wow, wow, that's a powerful contribution right there from our brother, Mr. Boaje, as well. So, our two brothers have um, rightly explained for us. I'm going to go into details for all of us, right? Um, so, uh, exactly as they have said, um, it all has to do with the product. So, with the um, influx of the e-business and the e-commerce, particularly in the system now, what it means is that now you can be somewhere in Accra and have access to a business that is selling something in another location, let's say Bogatanga, right? So anything that is relating to the current period, you have access to it remotely. So, like our brother said, distance will not be a barrier for you at all. So, in the e-commerce, or the e-business framework, no matter where you are in the world, customers will have access to you. So, your distance is zero, means that your product or services depending on how far you are in the world, someone from another corner of the world will have access to you through this special framework of called the e-business, right? So you can be, no matter where you are in the world, as soon as you post on Jumia, someone in Ghana can order for your product. So over there, you see that it's almost as if your business is seamless. So your distance, gone were the days if you have a shop and you are not online, you are limited to only those people within your location, right? So you have a provision shop and your products are not online, and so it will mean that everybody in your area will have access to you. But those of us outside of your area don't even know that your business exists. And so it will be very difficult or impossible for me to hear about you, right? Let alone to receive your product. Are we following? So over there, the distance is, there is no distance basically in this virtual world of business. There is no distance. We are all in one location. That is what it means. And then everything that is happening now in the business, we have access to it. So time is present time. So everything that is happening right now, we have access to it because we are all in one location. We are all hearing the same thing. You see, this is an advantage that we took when the internet broke forth in the world. This is one of the good things that internet brought us. It's because it makes news travel very fast. You see, now even when something happens in Tamale or Boko, you in Tema or Togo or Benin, who is listening to me right now via the YouTube channel or via the Teams platform, you are able to hear of it or see the videos of what entailed. You get it? So this advent of the internet, one of the good things it brought to us is the e-business field, right, of which we are now learning about. And so during this period, there is zero distance. All right, there is zero distance. So you can just, by way of delivery platforms or delivery channels, you can order your items and then it will be given to the next available flight or cargo to the very destination of the customer. So you saw the business online, you reached out, and the following day, some of them can even supply to you within 24 hours. So we have some of you who are doing this business, and within 24 hours, you're able to supply to someone in Avrongo via the zip line or zip line services. You get it. So there are a lot of good things this technology has brought us, right? Technology has brought us. And this rule is a barrier breaker, which we need to explore more, right? You look at it and you need to explore more. I believe that very soon, even the health services would be offering their services via these channels, via these e-business platforms as well, where doctors can visit you at home and then attend to you individually. I'm looking forward to that day. Wouldn't that be awesome? To be very powerful, right? Great. And then apart from that, we also have technology and network. Technology and network determine how the business is conducted. Technology and network determine how the business is conducted. So because you are dealing with a technology or technological field, you need to involve the use of technology or technological devices, right? And then you need to have access to a network. It is one thing having the technology, it is another thing communicating. For you to ensure this rule of time is present, distance is zero, this particular rule, it needs the help of a network for you to make sure that the distance is not a barrier. You get it? You need a certain technology to be able to reach out to someone. And this is why you need technology and a network. So this final rule ensures that you are using a network and a technology in the usage of all these things. So let's go over the rules again. The rule number one, customer determines everything for you in this business or in this field. Your customer is what it determines a lot of things. So they can ask you questions in the objects about these things. Which of these are true in the rules of e-business, right? The first one is what customers determine everything. The second one is what knowledge and information. You see, knowledge and information go together. Through knowledge, you gain information, right? And it's what more valuable than physical assets. So please note that. All right. Please note that knowledge is more valuable than physical assets. All right. This is the second rule, or rule number two, right? Rule number three is what people want more choices of products, right? More choices of products and services, right? And rule number four is what time is present, distance is zero, as we looked at. And rule number five, technology and tech network determine. So after looking at time is present, distance is zero. After looking at the choices of your customers, after looking at knowledge and information instead of physical assets, and then listening to your customers, after doing all these four things, the things that you need to execute your business for you to fall under the e-business category is the ability or the capacity to have technology and network, right? To be able to have a seamless business transactions. Is that all right? Any question up to this point before I move on? Any question? Let me look at the. Is there any hand? Okay, I see some hands up. I see some hands up. Mr. Pia.
All right, Evans, good evening. Okay, so I wanted to just do an attachment on time is present, time, and then distance is zero. All right,
Okay,
so
okay, all right.
Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
All
Loud
right,
and
so
clear.
you see that line is actually a concept in physics, yes. So you see, relating it to e-business, I think. Please, am I loud?
Yes, you are loud and clear, sir.
All right, okay. So
Yeah,
relating it
you're
to
audible, so you
e-business.
can speak.
All right, so relating it to e-business, I think you see when we talk about time is present time, I mean, whenever a product or something is being put up, I mean, everybody gets to see. And you see, after a product is being displayed, you can actually have to know the particular time that product was being displayed, comparing to distance is zero, where, I mean, if a product has to travel from Accra to Tamale, it's the same distance. If a product has to travel from here to, let's say, US, it's the same distance. There's no change in that. So I wanted to draw your attention to that, if maybe what I'm thinking is also in the line of whatever you're discussing. Thank you, sir.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's a powerful perspective. We can also put it in our pocket and then use it from the is coming from the physics perspective of things and relating to the e-business kind of things, you would realize that there are different perspectives to everything that is being discussed here, which would highlight a lot of things that uh, we are talking about. So the same way someone too can come from a different field. Uh, 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 I am also teaching this with an IT background and then also a marketing background, right? And a beautiful thing. So if you also have a different perspective, you can also bring it on board, and then it will make our sessions beautiful. Awesome contribution right there. I saw another hand up. There was another hand up, but dropped over time. Okay, so what I do is that as I'm moving on, I come back. I'm not on the page looking at the hands at the moment. I'm on the presentation page, and so I keep. So beautiful perspective right there, and are we online? Are we online? Are we online? Okay, great, great. So we move on to the categories of e-business applications. So we have collaboration, customer service, um, uh, customization, streamlining, management, cutting edge, and we are going to look at these things. Very, very important categories of e-business application. So, great. My online. This network is not helping me at all. Yes. Are we online? If you can hear me, you can give me a thumbs up so that I know. Okay, I think we are online. So on my presentation page, showing a different. Okay, so we have these various categories of the e-business application that we are going to. So collaboration, customer service, customization, streamlining, management, cutting edge. So these categories are more like, if you look at the, where is it? The infrastructure, right? Of how do you call it? The e-business architecture or the framework of it, you would see the same thing kind of repeating in a different way under the categories of e-business application. So you can look for the sake of memorization. Okay, that's why I'm doing that. So I'm trying to relate. Your mind also works by relation or relating, right? So I'm trying to relate. So you can go back when you are studying, you can go back to look at this very screen I'm projecting and compare it with that side. I mean, this side, this particular side. Wait a minute. And then do your comparison. You will see that they are quite related. However, we'll still talk about it, right? Awesome. Because there are some things you got to know, right? So there's a need as a firm to collaborate, right? To collaborate. Let me just do this. All right. Okay. So we have collaboration. We have the customer service part, you know, the need to collaborate with delivery services. Some people, some entrepreneurs or some e-business CEOs and founders collaborate with different sectors within the framework we have spoken of. The same as the infrastructure that we have spoken of, they collaborate with each other. You see, sometimes when you are starting or you are a startup, you try to do all these things yourself, you incur a lot of cost, right? That you don't want to be engaged in for a startup, right? If you have the capacity to do that, if you are being sponsored or you have investors who are doing that, there may not be a need to collaborate. But even very big firms, right, even do collaborations. You get it? So there is nothing. There's nothing wrong with you as a business collaborating with others to make sure that you provide the best of services or products or to your customers, right? So maybe you can partner in terms of the networking provision, right? You can partner with someone on, let's say, the device or the handling of the software. You can partner with another company on, let's say, something, and then you agree on a particular um, um, dividend, right? Depending on which position they are having in your company. So you agree on particular roles they will play in the company. If you laugh at me, your head. So uh, particular roles they would play after 2-1.
I beg you can take water. Right.
Okay, thank you very much. So you can collaborate based on which area that you may not have that much capacity to be engaged in. So if you are engaging in, let's say, uh, um, a similar thing, like let's say what Jumia is doing, um, there was one time a friend of mine approached me that he had an idea that he would approach Jumia, and he's willing, because he had this company where he had a group of people who are ready to ride bicycle. Normally, when they come back from work, they do some small exercises. So they ride bicycle, and then they keep. It's like they've created a community for themselves, and they monitor each other, the distance they ride. And he realized that some of them they ride like for about 4 kilometers within one night after work to exercise, just to exercise, and then they before they go and rest for the following day. So they were thinking about converting that action or those activities into money or earning something, right? So he came up with this business or the transportation option using the bicycle, right? Which he felt it was also saving the world of the greenhouse gases that people produce. So he sorted funds from this UN organizations, and he got their support, and then he was ready to partner with Jumia to offer that kind of services, and it would be a cheaper option for clients or customers or potential ones who are online and purchasing things. They will have the option of using the bike, and then it will have a reduced delivery cost for Jumia. This would have been a very powerful partnership between Jumia and that company, right? Until Glovo came to Ghana, and then anyway. So um, it depends on which aspects you want to collaborate as a firm, right? You can look at some of these areas to explore in, right? Already, companies are engaged in collaboration with the network, the telcos, without any particular like intentional agreement. When you engage in the services of MTN to provide you internet, they are all you're already collaborating with them in the company, but it's just that it's not a really formal way. Sometimes a company intentionally, especially the banks, they do formalize those collaborations, and then the telco in turn offer them the best of network strength, right? So that they could always do their activities seamlessly. So as a business, there's a need for this type of collaboration a lot. These are just these examples. I try to give them not to give you aspect or perspective, but you can generate different examples on your own, and you will see that all areas may need collaboration, depending on how massive you want those areas to be, right? Looking at the type of business or e-business you are engaged in, all right, is very, very important. Customer service, I mentioned, that is very, very key. One of the rules that we learned in the e-business framework is that what your customers determine everything. That's rule number one. We always remember. And um, because of that, it is very, very important to look at your customer service all the time. I've explained this into details, and I don't want to go back. Customization, you should be able to adjust your things, right, to suit whatever purpose you have planned and the purpose of your clients, right? So if you are engaged in customization of your product and your services as an e-business firm, and it is not what your customers need, you customize all right, and yet you have your product or your services in the shelves, right, or in your closet, nobody attending to them, right, or purchasing or patronizing your service. You see, it is because you didn't factor in those kind of people. So customization is key, and but also you need to look. You have to factor basically streamlining. You need to am I loud and clear?
Yes, you are loud and
Things
clear.
or yeah, you need to have a particular thing or things that you are known for as a business. You need to have the name Samsung. What are they known for, right? So imagine Coca-Cola says they are producing TVs now. Will you invest in a technology firm? They might go and uh, invest in a technology. Coca-Cola can decide to invest in a technology firm, but uh, they are not really known for that. So the trust will not be there for that. So with as a business or e-business firm, you want your people to trust whatever you are producing, right? You want the people to know you for a particular thing, that this is what you are an expert in. Even though you can diversify over time, you can build your integrity, your brand integrity, which we'll later look at in this course. So you later build your integrity in those areas as well. So you see how the business model for this company, Oraimo, this technological company, you see what the line of products they brought. They were focused on quality. You see, as a new entrant into this technological space or this e-business space, you want to let people know that what you have is the best. You are not, because it is known that, those technological companies or those who produce devices and all that, any new company that comes up, you can't trust their product. And because of that, they are one of they are options to choose from when it comes to prices and not necessarily quality, right? So as a new entrant into the system, you want to make sure you streamline your product in a certain way so that you can have this trust from the customers, right, or the clientele on these very things that you are producing. Very, very important. So in the beginning, you channel all your strength in the research that you have done to making sure that you have the best product, streamlining on a particular list of products, and then you later diversify into other ones. So streamlining in the beginning is very, very important. Okay. All right. Then management. So management in the sense of your products, management in the sense of your workers, right? Management in what? In your suppliers, right? You need to know how to handle all of them to keep a continuous supply of the products, your services. When it comes to your workers, you need to also manage them well so that um, they can also continue to do their very best. Okay, and then the cutting edge, you need to have a certain level of technology that makes you accomplish a lot of things within a short time, or you need to employ the services of very experienced workers who will be able to bring on board powerful ideas which will help the business to move forward. So these are the various categories of e-business applications. So in applying all these things, you need to factor these ones, and you will be good to go. So we've looked at the hardware infrastructure that you will need, the infrastructure that you will need. We looked at the rules. Let's look at the e-commerce now. Let's zoom in on the e-commerce aspect of the whole thing, right? So the term electronic business means shopping on the World Wide Web, which runs on the internet, all right? However, electronic commerce or e-commerce also includes many other activities such as businesses trading with other businesses and internal processes that companies use to support their buying, selling, hiring, planning, and other activities. Do you get it? Also, let me read all of them, then I'll come and explain. So some people use the term electronic business or e-business when they are talking about electronic commerce in this broader sense. For example, IBM defines electronic business as the transformation of key business processes through the use of internet technologies. Okay, so basically what they are trying to do is differentiating the between e-commerce and electronic e-business and then electronic commerce. Electronic business, electronic commerce. Let me say it in full again. Electronic business, electronic commerce. So your business, electronic business, is the mother of electronic commerce, as I said in the beginning. How or why is it the mother of electronic commerce? Now, as a business, one of the things you must or engage in is the rendering of services or the production of goods, right? In selling and buying. So that aspect where it includes in the selling and buying or buying, that is where you are dealing in the electronic commerce. Is it trading? Trading. So another word for commerce is what? Trading. That's basically the whole difference. You get it? So in essence, it's like having a father and then a child, right? So the father came from the grandfather, but the child came from the father. You get it? So it's just one aspect of the various aspects of the electronic business. This is for those who are now joining and those who didn't get it from the beginning. So in the beginning, we were talking about, let's look at it again. Let me just display it so that it doesn't look abstract to a lot of us. Let's look at it again. Those who got it, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So we're looking at what? Buying and selling of goods, right? Definition of e-business. So we are looking at e-business at large. So if you can see my mouse, can you all see my mouse? So this here, the first point here, buying and selling of goods and services, this is what has to do with e-commerce. So in this this point right here, the very first one, buying and selling of goods and service, you can equally say e-commerce. All right, the very first one. So you can see that all these things involve e-business, servicing customers, processing payments, managing production, supply chains, collaborating with business partners, sharing information, running automated employee services, and recruiting employees. These are all part of e-business. But that buying and selling is also part of them. So buying and selling is also known as e-commerce. But all of these, including buying and selling, they are all e-business. Please, are we following? Who has gotten it now? Raise your hand if you have gotten it. The difference. Let me know if you've gotten it. Raise your hand so that, don't worry, I'll not ask you a question if you raise your hand. If you don't raise your hand, it means that you didn't get it. I have to explain again. Your hand is raised. Okay, I see 2 hands, 3 hands. Raise your hand if you've gotten it. Okay. All right. I'm seeing some hands. Let me see. Please raise your hand if you've gotten it so that I flow. I want to engage. Okay. Okay. I see Mr. Joel, Mr. Boaje, Mr. Marvelous, Mr. Jekum. Don't you get the difference now? Because we are about to move to the differences. You get the difference between e-business and e-commerce? Mr. Jekum.
Hello, you mentioned my name. You said what?
Do you get the difference between the e-business and e-commerce? Your hand is not up. That's why I'm asking.
No, yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm asking those who get it to raise their hand. So if you get it, please raise your hand. So I'll not call you for questioning or something, but I just want to know those who are in the class if they are following. Okay. All right. Because we want to move on. We are going to start building on these things. So I'm saying that this point here in the beginning is what is the e-commerce that we've been talking about. These are the contents of electronic business. Everything here under this slide that I'm showing, right? These are all e-business content. And then the first one, which is buying and selling, it is into brackets. It is also, I wish he had done it like that. Okay, so into bracket, this can be called e-commerce. So this is just one aspect of the e-business content or processes. I hope we are following now. This is what I was asking if you understand. So this is the basic underlying difference between the electronic business and electronic commerce. So let's say it in full so that we don't, because if you say the EE, sometimes you can get confused. when they say it in full, now you'll be lost. So electronic business, electronic commerce. All right. It's been coming in. I noticed in the past questions that it drops a lot. So it's very important you know this. All right. You can drop your hands now. Thank you all very much as we move on. Electronic commerce or e-commerce also includes many other activities such as business trading with other businesses and internal processes that companies use to support their business. So anything that has to do with the buying and selling. So the e-business also involves planning. It also involves hiring. But you see, there are some ones that can belong to the e-business and belong to the e-commerce. Now, the reason is this. Even in your company, okay, let's say you have a department, you have an e-business firm. Okay, apart from buying and selling, you are also involved in hiring things for different companies. You are not selling to them, but you are placing them on lease, right, for them to rent from you, right? Or you are engaged in the investment into other companies. This may not involve buying and selling. These are other departments, but you can have a special department you can have a manager of that department who will now make that department exist like a separate business on its own under your company. You can have their own employees and different departments under it. That doesn't still make it bigger than the e-business or equated to the e-business. You can have workers under your this networking. You can have workers under your e-commerce selling. But in doing that, you can have people who facilitate the whole process for you. If your hand is up, if you have a question, you can let your hands remain. I'll land with it's possible in uh have some questions. Hand up, Mr. Freeman. Mr. Freeman, your hand is up. Hello, sir. Okay, let me move on to the next person. Mr. Boaji, your hand is up. Okay. Sir Joel, your hand is up, sir. Do you have any question? All right. All right. And okay, Mr. Freeman's hand is up. Still, you have a question, sir, as I proceed. All right. So, Mr. Jekum, do you have a question? Okay. So let's proceed. I want to know if I'm loud and clear, though, because I'm asking these ones and I'm not getting any feedback. Can you hear me, though? Am I loud and clear? Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please. I can hear you, sir.
I was confirming that we could hear you.
Okay, okay, that's awesome. Because I see some hands up. I wanted to be sure if it's a question or we have some ideas. Okay, so moving on, the e-commerce, some people use the term electronic business or e-business when they are talking about electronic commerce in this broader sense, right? They interchange the two for one for the other, right? So I believe, but for us here, we now understand the two. So let's look at some of the definitions between that are available for the two. So e-commerce, or I was mentioning that e-commerce is a process of buying and selling, transferring or exchanging products, services, and information via electronic networks and computers, right? So we are buying, we are selling, we are also transferring or what? Exchanging. So whether we are swapping goods, you bring goods, I bring goods, maybe you need what I have, and I need what you have. So we exchange. It is also e-commerce, right? So it's not just buying and selling. It has to do with transferring. Okay. If I have it and I'm not buying or I'm not selling, but I'm giving it to you, maybe because I want to dash it to you, it's also part of it. Okay. So when it's also being exchanged, the barter trade, you are also involved in it. Okay. And whether you are a carpenter and you are advertising on that platform, that computer, that via the website, okay, you right, you are teaching. You give you provide. Is it a question you have, sir? All right. We are still holding on. I think he's left his phone. So it also has to do with information via electronic networks and computers, right? So all these are under the e-commerce. So any role that you give, if you are the head of the departments of the e-commerce section of your company or your business, right? Anything that you have to do under this department, you are still under e-commerce. You get me? So this is basically what is highlighting, all right? Electronic commerce is the application of new technologies, particularly internet, web. We've talked about all this to help individuals, businesses, and other organizations. So put in mind, your business is not to help individuals only, but you can also help businesses. Other businesses may need what you are selling. So your target market shouldn't be individuals alone. It should be groups of people, organizations, institutions, and so on and so forth, right? We are going to look at those ones. Why or what is it called when you are reaching out to individuals? What is it called when you are reaching out to businesses? What is it called when you are reaching out to organizations? If you're a business too and you are reaching out to another business, what is it called? We are going to look at it and go deeper into those ones. We also have under e-commerce all businesses activities, all business activities that use internet technologies, the World Wide Web, and other technologies such as wireless transmissions on mobile phones, right? Or a personal, wait, let me move this here. Yes, on mobile phones or a personal digital assistant. So all business activities for the e-commerce department or the field, they use internet technologies. They use internet technologies like what? The World Wide Web, all right? And other technologies such as wireless transmissions on mobile phones or personal, the forms through which e-commerce may be transmitted to us or translated to us, right? If you have any question up to this point, you can let me know so that I brief you on. If you have any transaction completed over a computer-mediated network that involves the transfer of ownership or rights to use goods or services. So you can sell a car, and then when you are selling the car, you transfer your ownership, right? Any transaction completed, you can complete it. And then if you are engaging in all these things, you are still under the e-commerce. So anything that has to do with transferring. So you look at it from the official definition for it under this course. It's what e-commerce or electronic commerce is a process of buying, selling, transferring, or exchanging products, services, and or information via electronic networks and computers. So if you look at this, all other explanation under e-commerce, you'll be able to identify it. So far as it falls under this category, you'll be able to move forward with it. All right. So the definition of e-commerce continues. So where it deals with the exchange or exchange of value is important for understanding the limits of e-commerce. So the value of what you are exchanging is very important. So if you have something more valuable and you are exchanging it for something less valuable, you are the one losing, and it's not a balanced trade. You get it? And if you also have something less valuable and you are getting something more valuable for it, you know that you are gaining. That person on the other side is losing. You get it? So as a business, you need to know how important the value of commodities are in your exchange, right? If you are not directly involved with buying and selling, but you are involved in exchange, you get it, of services. So people also do. We have people who also do the black market or engage in the sale of or the buying and selling of the dollar or other foreign currencies via these channels. You need to be regulated by the Bank of Ghana, right? And to be engaged in these things, right? So that you can be authorized. But apart from that, the point is that when you are exchanging, or buying and selling, or you are engaged in this, you need to know the value of what you are exchanging at that particular time. What is the market rate, right? What is the value on the market? You need to know all these things before you engage. It's either you will lose. There are more possibilities you will lose if you don't know the value of what you are exchanging. So it's very, very important to know about these things when it comes to e-commerce. Commercial transactions involve the exchange of value, right? Example, money, right? As I rightly spoke about, across organization or individual boundaries in return for products, right? So you need to actually value also your product. You see, this is where you factor in the time, the value of your workers. You know that you have employed your workers and you are paying them how much every month. Even if you are paying them 2 cedis every month, you need to factor in the cost of all these things so that you have a very good pricing of your product. So during your production, what time did you spend when you were creating the website? How much bundle do you use? You see, the time that you wasted can be actually the 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 best explanation for them is, you see, the opportunity, looking at it from the to pursue that. You could have pursued, let's say it took you 4 years or 5 years to produce that. You could have used that same period to do another thing that could have diversified your investment so that you would venture into many other businesses, right? At the same time, but at that time, you chose to focus on building that product for your business. So when it has come for time to evaluate that particular product, you need to factor in the time as well. You get it? You need to factor in the time as well. You need to factor in the people that are helping to produce the product. So when you do this, all right, it will help you give the right value to the product that you have. You also need to factor in those who are helping you at the workplace, your workers. How, if if you continue like this, would the company work or not? Would the business work or not? All right. So these are some of the things you need to factor in. Okay, your delivery, will it be part of the cost or it will be outside of it? Okay, so will it burden your customers if you add it to it? You get it? Or is it a wise way to add the cost of delivery to the cost of the product? So all these things are questions you need to ask yourself when it is time to evaluate your product or add value to your product after production. You see, so the cost of production includes everything you have incurred in the production of that cost of that product or service. Okay, so when these things are factored in, you know whether you look at the customers you have, the clientele, the pockets, their pockets, the average earner, and all that. You do a research on that, and then you arrive at the best price. This is how businesses succeed in this modern era. All right, so it is very important we take notice of that. Without an exchange of value, no commerce occurs. Without an exchange of value, no commerce occurs. So unless there is an exchange, there is no business established. That's basically. So if you don't bring something on board, I also don't bring something on board. There's no business. So an e-commerce or e-business is when something is being exchanged. You get it? There must be an exchange somewhere, and that is when it's qualified. But mind you, it is generally an e-business when it is exchange, but not in buying and selling. So there must be exchange in buying and selling, something that has to do with buying, selling, that has to do directly on it. Then now it will be classified as e-commerce. So the exchange of goods and services for money involves buyers. These are people with money. We all know buyers, sellers. These are the people who offer the goods and services. Buyers. All right, and then we have the producers, which could be yourself. So you see, one best thing about this modern era is that you don't necessarily to be the producer yourself. You don't necessarily have to be the producer of the business yourself. You don't necessarily have to be the producer. We have a lot of businesses, e-commerce, that is existing, and they are not the ones producing the product themselves. All right, other people produce it, and they are actually the ones selling it for those individuals. Okay, so these are some of the things we need to look at in the e-business framework. The various components in it, the buyers, sellers, and the producers. Transformation of economic activity into digital media. Exchange information, content, agreements, services among parties that are connected through the internet. So most of these e-commerce platforms, as you are buying, there are agreements attached to it. Most of you don't read, you just go on and then you buy them because you have access to them. You just want to get access to your product. So you don't read, they just tell you that you agree to so and so and so. You just don't care. All you need is that your product has gotten to you. But it is prudent that you read these things because it is legally binding you, and then the legally binding you and then the seller. Okay, if you are the consumer, if you are also the producer, is binding you and your customer. So you need to look at the agreement in a way that is a win-win situation, all right, so that you can ensure that your business keep running, all right. enables, we are looking at the mechanism. So it enables new ways of creating, delivering, and capturing value to customers, availability, convenience. So no matter where you are, no matter what situation has happened, maybe you could, in those days, you would spend fuel in going to another location to buy something. Now you can just sit somewhere, stand somewhere, make your order, and then whatever situation for which, or whatever place that you are in as a result of disadvantage, it's the product can locate you, you see, and then you can use it, right? If your car tire is burst, you should be able to get a tire pump, the nearest tire pump joint or center, for them to attend to you. Maybe you order a service. I'm looking, this is a business idea to some of you, all right? You can create a website for all the tire pressure checkers association. You can create something like that and then add some other products, and then create a website for them. Okay, even these people, Aboso kind companies, right? You can create a website where all car parts, depending on their classifications, you can have them on the site, and then people, when someone's car is locked on the road, it will not be an inconvenience for them, right? People have to tow their car to their workshop before their car is done, and so on and so forth. They have to drive all the way with other cars and all that. But if right there where the problem is, they can just reach out, and then through the website or the e-commerce platform, whether it's a software, whether it's an app, whether it's a website, they reach out and then they make their order, and right there it's delivered to them and it's solved, right? So nobody is inconvenienced in that manner in this regard. There's availability and all that. So these are the various mechanisms that are available in the e-commerce industry, right? So it has come to bring a lot of solve a lot of problems in times past. You get it? If you look at how the world has changed in a period of 10 years with the e-commerce industry, you can see and generate your various notes on how it has served the world better. Do you get it? And this will help you to generate generic responses to these advantages that they have brought to us. All right? Awesome. Examples of e-commerce, retailing and marketing, right? We have entertainment and travel, education and learning. So these are the various fields, okay, in e-commerce that you can look at. So retailing and marketing, as I've said, you are reaching out to the customers so that they will buy. You are still involved in the buying and selling, right? Retailing means that you are selling directly to the consumers. All right, that's basically what it means, right? And then you can involve in that, right? Whether you are marketing it or you are helping the producers to sell the products. In doing so, you also have your own business, which is called the e-commerce, right? And you are also under that e-business framework. Okay. You can also involve yourself in the entertainment and travel, all right, where people across the world can reach out, and then you take them on tour, travel and tour and all that. They have entertain themselves, and they exchange that service that you are offering them with some few dollars, and then you earn something as a result of your company or your business being online. All right, being online. So it exposes you to the world, and then they patronize your services. I will end it here, and okay, let me finish this one. Banking and investment. Okay, and we have education and learning. I've made this point. You are beneficiaries of this particular point, right? Where education and learning is part of, where some of you are listening to me or watching this particular service we are offering or rendering in different parts of the world, right? Even those in Ghana too are in different locations in the country, and yet you have access to this course, right? And this is another example of this particular point when we also fall under the e-commerce framework because we are exchanging. Okay, there are some who those who have paid also have access to these videos, right? And this online course for this period. Okay, all right. So we also have banking and investment, which also has to do with exchange um, of values, right? You give me, I keep your money for you. You pay, you bring your money, I keep it for you, but I'm not exactly keeping it. I'm also going to use it for business. Digitally, your money is still there, but in physical, we are using it for business. Anyway, that's just banking and investment for you. So you come back, you want to take your money. We also uh, sorry for that, the network challenge. And I was saying how I was thinking about the fact that it is not really a fair trade if you look at it, but hey, we also have the banking. We also have the banking sector operating digitally on our devices. We render online as well. Okay. All right. Um, and then we have the what? The healthcare option, personal and business service. Okay. With the healthcare option, personal and business service, with the healthcare side too, it can be services that has to do with healthcare. As I was saying, doctors can. I'm looking forward to that day where doctors can render their services to individuals, where they book doctors and then the doctor will come to your house, come and attend to you powerfully, just as he could have done in the hospital, but only this time, only for you. It would be quite expensive, but it would be cheap when the doctors become. We have a lot of doctors in the system. Then everybody will be competing with pricing. So people will be beating down prices, and this is what will make. So we need more doctors in the system to ensure that this dream is a reality. But it's I don't think that will be possible for now until technology takes over their job. When technology takes over the healthcare sector, we will have cheaper rates to healthcare delivery in continents like Africa, right? And we are praying that it will happen, and very soon too it will happen. So that's the healthcare side. So where you can book online. So you book online, and then they will come and attend to you in person, right? E-commerce there, right? Auction services where products and services are also offered at a starting price, and the highest bidder is given or authorized to own the asset. So it starts with a low price or any other amount that someone mentions, and if someone is able to beat that price and go with a higher amount, the final or the highest bidder, the one who bids, and if nobody is able to exceed that bidding or that amount that someone has quoted, then it means that the person is likely to be the new owner of that particular property. I see a hand up, Mr. Bwaje.
Yes, thank you. So I wanted to ask, would you say education and learning is e-commerce or e-business?
Okay, so that's a powerful question. Okay, so you look at it from this sense. Okay, what will make education and learning fall under e-commerce? So remember, I told you that there are some properties or functions that will fall under e-commerce and under e-business, but it is the way of its delivery that will make it belong to e-commerce. So now, if we go back to the explanation or the definition of e-commerce itself, what does it say? It says what? Let's look at it together. Where is it? The process of buying, selling, transferring, exchanging products or services or information. But look at it. There's a catch in the end. It says what? Look at the delivery. Oh, I'm trying to shift this thing. I don't know. Those who watch the video, they'll see it covering. So I've moved it. Now, it says what? The information via or through electronic networks and computers. So this is what classifies it, right? So the e-commerce, it has to do with buying and selling. Am I selling something to you right now? This is the first one. Mr. Waji, let's go through this one together. Are you here, sir?
I'm listening. Yeah, I'm listening.
So now, this service you are enjoying right now, am I selling it to you? Oh, wait, before you answer. Am I selling something right now?
I wouldn't say
yes.
I wouldn't say you are selling something.
Yes, you are selling something.
Yes. So the one who is saying I'm selling something. So what am I selling right now?
So it's education and training. You're educating us.
Exactly. So I'm educating you. That the reason is that I'm selling something because you are paying to be in this class. So I am giving you information or knowledge, right? And you are paying in return. So I'm selling something to you. And then it doesn't just end there. We have qualified to be in e-business and e-commerce. Okay, now let's take it a step further. What are we in? What are we using? We are using electronic media, right? Electronic network. We are using network and computers. So now we don't just classify to be under e-business, but we classify by the exchanging of resources or goods or services, because I am giving the knowledge, you are paying the money. So you see that even if it is not me and still the lecturer who is a lecturer of a school who is teaching you, you are still paying for something. You get me? So even I wanted to go somewhere else, but I will not go. I'll stick with, for the purposes of exam, right? Let's stick with this. So the fact that you are paying something and then you are receiving something, there's an exchange right there. You can see it over here, right? Exchange, you are buying and you are selling, but it's not product. This one is not physical product, right? This one is not physical product. This one is service delivery.
Actually, someone is in the lobby waiting.
Okay, all right. There's a hand up. And so you qualify right there. So far as there's an exchange of values, it qualifies to be in the commerce department. All right. Administrators, can you help me admit the one who is in the lobby? Yes, sir. Mr. Bwaji.
Yes. So with the issue of selling and buying, I don't agree with you saying you are selling to us right now, as in what you are doing right now, because I would put this into service. You know, we have goods and services. We only
Yes.
buy goods. This is you provide. We are paying for your services. We're not paying for your goods. So this wouldn't be selling or buying.
Okay, I
That
get where you are from now. I get where you are coming from. So, okay, whether you see whether it is a product, physical goods, or which is tangible or intangible, we sell services as well. Okay, we sell services as well. So, um, this service you are enjoying, you are paid for it. You get it? It was sold to you, and then you bought into it. You get it? And so now you are in the um, enjoying part or enjoyment part of it, or delivering part of it. You get it? Or receiving the product. This is not tangible. So because it's not tangible, let's not say that it can be sold. You get it? Normally we talk more on products and less of services, but services are also products, but we distinguish it because they are intangible. All right, so that you be able to know. But just like tangible products, you can also sell services as well. So you have bought into what I'm doing, and that's how come you have access to the link for you to be here. You get it? You have paid for your fees, and the fees involves you having lecturers in place for the particular courses you are offering, for which you agreed on, right? They sent you, or you chose what to do in the university, right? And then the amount for that particular course was given you, and then you bought into that idea or what they presented to you, and you are here to enjoy the various services. So the school has sold to you their services. You get it, Mr. Waji?
yes, please, I get you.
Awesome. So it's whether it has to do with tangible assets or tangible goods or intangible goods. Um, we studied this in accounting. Those of you who have done accounting, you will know fixed assets, current assets, and so on and so forth, right? You'll be able to know the differences. And so you realize that there are some goods that you will not even hold. The same way there are even debts. There are some debts that people do not owe you, but you also make provisions for them, and they are also called debts. The same way we have goods that you don't really can't hold, but they are also there. Just the same way I overheard the lecturer talking about even using the example of prostitution, which is illegal, right? And the beautiful ladies who are standing there by the roadside, they are selling what they have, right? They are not holding goods, as some of you may say, right? But some people also see what they have as goods, even though it is service that they are rendering. Do you get me? So it depends on how, let me just let it go since you have understood it. Is there any other question? I want to end it here today, so that we'll continue another time. I just want to continue on and on and on, but people have to rest, because I saw that some people were drawing my attention to that. Okay, so in our next lessons, I was just trying hard for us to move ahead quickly, but I also wanted to elaborate more on things so that you get the foundation. Because you see, I can just come here and just rush, and then we are just done. But I wanted us to get the foundations very well, so that we get the differences between the e-business, e-commerce. We understand our way. The rest, the rest of um, the rest of these other areas like the marketing, customer service, and so on and so forth. All those things are what anything that is talked off after here, it will. I would like to ask again, if you have a question, please raise your hand if you have a question so that I'll attend to you quickly. Any question? The session, I would like to say that we gladly attend to you all, to your questions and all that. We will also be giving assignment tests just like journey on these very courses. If I'm still not seeing any hand up, if there are no questions, then I'll take it as we would meet again. All right. I wish we could meet again before our weekend class, so that we can stay ahead of the main class all the time. All right. And so administrators, I don't know how we do that. Okay. All right. So if there are no questions, thank you all for being part of today's class. See you next time. Bye-bye.